Good morning. Nearly the end of the week. Rainy Thursday morning, and yeah, as I said yesterday, this week I find it's going really, really slowly, and it's been brilliant to have this interviewing every morning because it's just given me something to look forward to, and I can't wait to catch up with today's guest. It's somebody that I have worked with before. Helen Booth from Masque Photography is an amazing photographer and gives women so much confidence from her shoots. So I can't wait for you all to meet her this morning from Masque Photography. Good morning, Helen.
Hi, Rachel.
Good morning. It's lovely to see you. I feel like I've not seen you for ages.
It's been a while.
It has, I know. Yeah, I mean, as a photographer, how have you managed to keep going during lockdown? How have you found it?
Obviously, I've not been working, but I have been working on my business. So I've been doing loads of stuff. I've launched my new website, which has been in the background for such a long time. And I've finally been able to focus on that.
Yeah.
And I've upgraded a few products. I've found some beautiful new ways of displaying images since things like that. And I've updated my database, and I've been doing more social media stuff and looking at how I work, really.
So actually,
behind stuff.
Yeah, it's given you a bit of time to concentrate on that, so that when you do get back out there, you are ready to go. You're ready to go. So for anybody that doesn't know what kind of photography you do and what you're about, how do you describe yourself and what you do?
Well, I do boudoir photography. Mainly that's with women, although I do a few couples. But I basically really want to show women at the most beautiful. So when they come to me, I am looking, desperately trying really, really hard to make them look as beautiful as they look in front of me on the back of my camera. And once I've done that, I am a happy woman. You know, all about just making somebody feel fabulous and look great and remember that in the future.
When you first started out as a photographer, did you know instinctively that's the kind of style you wanted to go for, or has it taken a while for you to come to that point?
Well, I didn't start off doing that. I started photographing products for a company called Maplin Electronics. So I did what I could do to find work. But once I had my daughter, I thought I'd go it alone and not go back to work full time. So I looked at different things. And at the time, it was 2007 when I had my daughter. So I kind of started looking into things 2008. Boudoir wasn't really a word that anyone knew that well. So when I started looking into what I could do, I went on this lighting course. I saw an album in a photography studio, and it had these images in, and I was like, oh my golly gosh, what is that? And I started to look into it, and I just got really, really excited by the idea because it didn't seem to be something that a photographer was specialising in, especially not a woman, and really not in Yorkshire. So it was like really big in America at the time. So I thought, if it's big in America, I'm sure it'll come here. Let's give it a go. And I just started practicing on my friends. And it wasn't really until then that I realised how amazing it was, not just for me, because I was doing something creative and like it was exciting me.
Yeah.
But then I got the feedback from them, how much they were really looking forward to it, how much they enjoyed the shoot, how much like self-confidence grew from after. I was like just addicted to it.
Yeah, brilliant. I love what you do. And you know, you and I have shot together, and you do make your models feel so relaxed and comfortable. It's a really beautiful process. For people that don't actually know what kind of boudoir entails, I think sometimes there might still be a stigma attached to it. People have the wrong impression of what boudoir photography is about. How do you describe it to somebody?
Boudoir photography. Well, it's all really about making women feel good about themselves. I don't. I think it's evolved a lot now, and it's more for me about expressing femininity and like embodying your own power and as a woman. And it's not really sort of sexy, glamoury kind of like.
That's the misconception, isn't it? That's the misconception that people have of it, that it's always got to be ultra sexy and almost like the pin-up glamour style. And it's not about that with you at all.
Yeah, it's different. So maybe you need to see my work really to understand. I'm sort of much more natural and feminine, I suppose is a good word to use.
It's about women embracing their bodies, isn't it?
Absolutely.
You seem to capture really well.
Oh,
so what kind of women do come to you?
So a lot of women come to me who've hit a milestone in their life, like a big birthday. or perhaps they've become a grandma, or they've got divorced, or they've had a relationship breakup and they want like a pick-me-up. Or some people, women who've had children, who've kind of lost themselves a little bit, that want to sort of find or spend some time on themselves. I also get lots of women coming as creating gifts. Yeah. So lots of brides-to-be create these beautiful albums and they like personalize it with something of his in it. So it's like a really special gift. And it's kind of a lot of women say to me, if I do this, he'll know how much I've grown since he's given me the confidence to feel that, like he's telling me I'm beautiful, and now I can prove to him that I know it enough, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it really does. And I think it's so difficult because as women, we do struggle to allow ourselves time to be kind to ourselves and to our bodies, and to acknowledge, that we have all got beautiful bodies and we're all different shapes and sizes. So you give them a process where they can come along and share that for themselves. It doesn't even have to be for anybody else, does it? It's about giving something back to themselves and having that moment captured, which is really magical.
Yeah, even though it's probably, they say they're coming as a gift, it really is a gift to themselves as well.
Yeah. How nervous are these women when they first come? I can imagine that not many women come in absolutely bounding full of confidence and going, yeah, let's rock it immediately.
No. No, it's not like that. There's like varying degrees of nervousness. There's like, get me a drink quick. And they always say, like, I'm a little bit nervous, but I was like, you'll be all right, you'll be all right, we'll have fun. And you've got an hour at the beginning where you're having your makeup done and your hair, and it's just a chance to have a cup of tea and a chat with me, and you'll settle into your environment. And I always take it really steady at first. I always kind of like lie you down generally first of all, so you're not kind of stood up, and you've got your most comfortable outfit on. So everything's really gentle. Like, I ease you into it a bit, and then I'll just give you loads of encouragement and show you what to do. You'll never be like left floundering and thinking, am I supposed to be doing this, Helen? I will guide you through it, and I just love it. I just love that first moment when I show you the picture on the back. When they show the camera, and it's like, wow, that's me. And I'm like, yes, that's you.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you said earlier about how you want to show women how you perceive them and how you see them looking in the camera. You need to be able to show them that. And quite often we don't recognise it in ourselves, do we? Because people don't often, lots of women I know don't like looking at themselves in the mirror, for instance, so they avoid it and don't feel comfortable in their own bodies. So to see themselves, how others view them is really important in boosting body confidence, isn't it?
Did you see that Dove advert where they described themselves to an artist, and the artist drew their face, and then they got a friend or somebody they'd just met, maybe it was, and then he drew their perception of how they looked, and then they put both pictures up.
Oh, I've not seen that. That sounds amazing.
And it was so different, and they like cried at that, like, oh my God, why is my perception of myself worse than a stranger's light? And
that's really special. And what about the age group? Is it a real mixture, or is it younger women?
I get a mixture. Kind of the youngest would be like 21 and the oldest has been 70, but kind of on average, maybe between 30 and 55 are kind of my clients. But I get a lot of brides maybe in their 20s, 30s, but it tends to be 30 through to 50, I'd say.
Would you like to see older women doing it? Because I
love it.
Yeah, we've got such a stigma attached to growing old and seeing our bodies and flesh, haven't we? It'd be so nice to encourage more older women to see themselves in that aging process in a beautiful way.
Oh, I tell you a story about a lady called Fiona. She's on my website, and she was 63, and she waited 6 years to come and see me. Both her daughters had been. She loved their photographs, and she's like, I think I'm going to do that, but she didn't quite get to me. And then I don't know what like finally triggered it, but she came. She loved it that much that about I can't remember how many months later she rang me, Helen, do you think I could be a model? I was like, yeah. And I put her in with a modelling agency, and she was signed.
Oh, fantastic. That's
Never
amazing.
But she had
That's
to
so
come back and
cool.
see me because she said all the jobs I'm getting are for mobility aids.
Oh, yeah.
So I need to be more like a granny, a glamorous granny, but so it
Yeah.
took more, and I tried to, hopefully get us some more jobs, but I've not spoken to her of late.
Oh, that's such a great story, and I can completely relate to that. One of my first jobs, because of my grey hair, was I played a grandmother for a pharmacy company, and so I just thought, is this mine? This is what I'm going to be put in the bracket of. Luckily, that's changed, and it was a lovely job. But I thought, gosh, talk about stereotype somebody. Yeah, it's really interesting. So what kind of changes have you seen in the women? Because obviously you keep in touch and it's a process. What kind of changes have you seen? Because I know you've had some quite dramatic effects on people afterwards.
Let's think of a few things. So I have like people send me pictures and they're like, Helen, I had the courage to wear this. And it's like a bikini or like a little bit of a sexier underwear they might not have put on before, or they'll say like, I'm just smiling more, I'm walking taller, one lady said, Helen, I left the lights on for the first time.
And that's just beautiful, isn't it?
Recently, and she said, I always used to keep it off me. She said, my husband can't believe it.
Yeah, that's such a transformation, and we underestimate the impact something like this kind of style shoot can have on somebody's mental well-being, don't we? It can have a profound effect. It's life-changing, really, for lots of women. I wish all women could at least do it once in their lifetime, just to have that experience. Have you done it? Have you had your own photographs taken?
You missed my Insta story. Yes. Natalia said, Helen, have you done a nude shoot? Anyway, I posted a picture. So yes, I did it. My makeup artist took some pictures of me, and I just kept them, to show my husband and that. So yes, I've done it too. I've done it twice. I forgot about that. I did go when I first started, and I did kind of like what would it be like on the other side? Like, I wanted to experience it from the perspective of being the model, and I did that right at the beginning, 2009 maybe.
And how did you feel about doing it?
Sounds really bad, but I kind of found out what I knew I wouldn't do with my customers, because when I arrived, they stripped me naked.
Oh gosh. Oh right, okay. Yeah.
They said, put a robe on, but you need to, take your clothes off. And I was like instantly like, terrified. Then a man walks in with his trainers on, and the woman that had been talking to me that booked it with me hadn't told me that it was her husband that'd be taking the pictures, which I thought was really bad.
Yeah.
And then he asked me to lay down on this sofa thing, but on my back, and I was like, I'm not going to do that. So it was hideous.
Oh no. I mean, yeah, that's.
I didn't like it.
Yeah, I can imagine, and I think it's really important actually to check your photographer out, because I think the fact that you're a woman and you have that empathy and understanding for what a woman's feeling and thinking it's so important to have that connection with your photographer, isn't it? I would feel, I mean, I've done lots of lingerie shoots now, and they are usually male photographers, and I've got used to it. But certainly a nude one, I would feel uncomfortable.
Yeah,
with a male photographer, especially without being told.
Say again.
If you're not being told.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, but I did it, and that was fine by me. I'm fairly comfortable in my own skin anyway. So,
have you always been comfortable in your own skin?
Pretty much. Yeah. I mean, I've never felt I was like the most beautiful woman in the world, but I've never criticised myself over and over or thought, oh, I don't know. I'm pretty relaxed about how I look.
Brilliant. That's so refreshing.
Relaxed, but now I'm like, no, I'm going to make even more effort with myself, and I'm going to pay more attention to myself, and I'm going to make the most of me, because I think in the past maybe I hadn't. Maybe it was like that is like a self-confidence thing, but I've grown as I've got older.
And also, do you think seeing all the other women embrace their bodies so much in front of you in the camera, do you think that's had an impact on you?
Yeah, I suppose so. Yeah, they are so brave. Some women are, like you say, pretty terrified when they walk in. Not everybody, but and the strength of character to come and do it anyway is, amazing.
Yeah.
And it was inspiring for me too, yeah.
I mean, you've been really busy in lockdown, organising stuff behind the scenes. So what's next for Masque Photography? What are you kind of really working on and wanting to progress with?
Oh, well, as you know, I just took on a new studio and it's in the centre of Wetherby, and I had 2 weeks there. So then I got snatched away from me. I went to get in, and I just want to, really meet more and more women, spread the word around the local area and far afield, I suppose, and get into having a regular full-time life at work rather than being at home. I can't wait.
Have you ever done exhibitions of your work?
I had one, 2014 or 17? 14. 2014 I had an art exhibition, and that was amazing. One of the highlights of my career, I'd say. It made me feel so proud.
Yeah, I can imagine. And also, I can imagine it's a really special moment for the women that you photographed to be able to come to the exhibition and see themselves out there. It's quite a kind of, especially when it's in public, it's out there, isn't it, for people to see? It's quite empowering, I think.
It was lovely. And my husband came, he's a fireman, and he pulled up outside in his fire engine.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah, and we had a little hello and introduced him to the people that I photographed. And it was nice because they were able to talk, like, on the opening night to everybody else in the room, and like, this is me and this is my story, and they were chatting together.
Have you done group shots as well, or do you always do solo women?
Group shots, I did a calendar once, but not generally. And I've done couples, so that's kind of 2 people. And very occasionally I'll do like a family, if like a family come back to me and say, "Do you want to do?" I'll do it then. But no, it's generally one woman.
When you do the group shots, that's interesting, I guess, because when you do the couple shots, how does the men's body confidence differ to the women? Are they more confident or are they uncomfortable?
I think it's similar to a woman's, to be honest. But yeah.
Because men don't often talk about body confidence. They are starting to now, but it's just a kind of area that people don't really talk about. So it's interesting to see couples come together. I think that's really
lovely bonding.
Yeah.
They're celebrating their life together mostly.
Yeah.
Recently a couple came and their sons had like flown the nest, and they really wanted to just do things together again and like celebrate all their life together. And I love seeing that connection between them. Like, it's obvious, and that's what I need to capture on my camera, is their bond. If I turn away, I like catch them like whispering little things into each other's ears and kissing, maybe. It's lovely.
And have you got one shoot that absolutely sticks in your mind that you just loved to, you were so proud of doing, and that was a really special shoot? But I guess they're all special, but have you got one that really stays in your mind?
Not really. There's so many. Like, I forget, like, I've done... Can I think of one? I only remember one distinctly because it was in a different place. And I went to Newborough Priory. You remember where we went?
Yes, beautiful there.
Yeah, networking event. And that had... Did you go in the turquoise room?
I did, yes. Yeah.
Shall I show you the picture?
Yes, do. Yeah. Because it's such a beautiful setting. Oh, wow.
She was amazing. But her best friend lived there.
Oh, gosh.
So we were able to go and use the whole place.
Wow.
And that was just incredible.
Oh, I want to do a location shoot with you somewhere, Helen.
Yeah.
That's what we need to do next. I'd love that. That's amazing.
Anytime.
I shall hold you to that one. So I guess what you're doing really does change people's lives. And how could you encourage somebody to take that step in contacting a boudoir photographer and doing it if they're scared? What would you say to them to overcome that nerve before they've even contacted you?
They'll be fine with me. I'll look after them. don't worry, don't put it off too much, don't overthink it. It really is fun, and you kind of have to do these things that scare you and excite you in equal measure to feel that buzz afterwards, and that's what you can get if you can just step over the line. And I'm not really scary.
No, you're not at all.
And you only do what you want to do. Like we work together to create the images. So whatever you bring is what we'll work with, and I'll advise you on that. And honestly, it'll be great.
Yeah,
love it. Just don't
overthink it.
Hold your back. You can do it.
I think it's interesting what you just said about, you can wear you can wear what you like. So, to somebody, having a low V-neck shirt showing cleavage is a big enough step for them, and that's still beautiful. It doesn't. People always think boudoir's got to be, naked or in a lingerie set. It doesn't. It's about what sensuality they want to express themselves, isn't it?
And people bring like their Doc Martens.
Yeah.
Or like they come in like a leather jacket or a denim jacket, and I'm like, that's so you, get that on.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like showing their personality through what clothes they bring, and they can bring like props as well, like if they want. Or some lady ordered some flowers and she had them delivered to me the day before, and in the shoot we used them all around to like pretty pink roses, and it was just stunning.
Beautiful.
Like personalizing it that way. So it's all about you, and it's not like a generic whitewash of lay on your back, stick your legs up and cross them. It's really is more tailored.
Yeah. Well, honestly, I love what you're doing. I'm a huge fan of your work, and I can't wait to come and visit your new studio and shoot with you again once this is all, when I say life gets back to normal. I don't know if it'll be the new normal, I guess.
The new normal, yeah. It'd be nice to shoot you as well, Rachel. We had a great day, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, take care of yourself and keep busy, and lovely to talk to you again, Helen. How do people find out about you? What's your website?
It's www.masquephotography.co.uk. I'm obviously on Facebook as Masque Photography, and on Instagram as Masque_photography as well.
Lovely. Well, thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your day, and hopefully see you soon.
Thanks, Rachel. Bye.
Thanks. Bye. Take care.
Yeah.
Well, that was just, I love Helen's work, and I really could recommend going to visit her if you're interested in doing a boudoir shoot. It really is empowering and gives you so much body confidence afterwards. So yeah, please go check her out. I will be back tomorrow. I'm not actually going to be live. I'm going to be now pre-recording it with Annie Stirk, who has become a really good friend of mine and has had an extensive career in the food and television industry, and is now changing her career at 70 into modelling. So I can't wait to catch up with her. So that will be going at the same time tomorrow at 10:30, because I'm going to be going back to some kind of work and doing a shoot tomorrow. So I can't wait to get back to it. So enjoy the rest of your day. I'll see you tomorrow.